Welcome back to Character Creation Cast, everyone. We have the second part of our Edge of the Empire series with the Redemption crew for you.
We have one quick thing to note before we get started. A friend of the network, Jordan Shively, who's also known as Dread Singles on Twitter, has recently experienced some medical issues that interfere with his ability to work. So a number of shows on the network and some special guests have put together an album of bonus content that you can purchase for $10 to help Jordan. We have added a fun one-on-one chat between Ryan and I, exploring our favorite characters from our own RPG past. And we will have a link to that in the show notes. If you go and purchase it for $10, you get all of the content that's in there, plus anything that we potentially add in the future. So it's definitely worth it, and there's some good stuff in there.
Yeah, there's some really amazing stuff in there, and I really loved the episode that we put out personally, and I think it's well worthwhile to check that out. So give it a listen if you can.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And as is tradition, we've got another review for you today. This one is by Kent Blue from the USA, titled Excellent Podcast. Kent says, "Such a unique show. As has been said before, it is more than just creating a character in different tabletop role-playing game systems. The hosts are terrific and have great chemistry. The show moves at a great pace and is always entertaining. The show features great guests, and the production quality is very good." Well, thank you so much, Kent. That is a wonderful review. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Yeah, and if you want to leave us a review, just head on over to iTunes or wherever you like to leave reviews for podcasts, and go ahead and leave one there, and we'll get them every week. So really looking forward to hearing what you all think of the show.
I just had this vision of you, like, wherever you like to leave reviews, of people just, like, writing them in, like, bathroom stalls or something. Like, it's a great podcast.
If you want to leave a review in a bathroom stall, feel free. But please don't graffiti.
But how else are they going to leave it?
Post-it notes. Come on.
Post-it notes in the bathroom, Ryan?
Yes, post-it notes in the bathroom.
Okay, just in case you have a great idea.
Yeah, just in case.
Okay. With all of that out of the way, here is the show.
Yeah, enjoy. Last time on Character Creation Cast, we were in the process of completing a group full of misfit droids and one human. Chris was creating a battle droid captain left over from the Clone Wars. Emily was creating a decommissioned assassin droid. Michael was creating a lone protocol droid who was good at slicing. Amelia was creating a protocol droid with a penchant for research. And I was creating a force-sensitive human medic. One of these things is not like the other. How about we find out how they all belong? Enjoy the show.
So I think at this point we're mostly kind of filling in the blanks, really, right? I mean, we're filling in wound threshold, strain threshold, defense.
Which those are all derived from your attributes and your species.
Yeah.
So like wounds are derived, like for my character, it is 10 plus my brawn score. Mm-hmm. So my wounds, which is physical damage, is a whopping 11.
Ooh.
Now your strain, and we talked about strain a little bit earlier, that's kind of your mental and emotional damage. Because I'm a droid, it's 10 plus my willpower score. So I have a whopping 12 in strain. Then your soak value, which is in essence kind of damage reduction, it's generally your brawn score plus armor and any abilities you have or talents. Droids start with the Enduring 1 talent, so they get 1 point of soak just for their mechanical body. So my character has a whopping soak of 2.
Okay.
So that's really all the derived attributes that you have to fill in.
Right.
Those are nice and easy to calculate, too.
Yep.
I like that.
It's all written right under the species, and you just add in your characteristics.
I like that I don't have to multiply things and calculate levels of wounds, and I've played too much 4th edition L5R, which is like it's like Earth times 5 plus 2 per level. That's probably wrong. I don't know what it really is, but it's something like that. It's something horrible.
I believed you.
It uses fractions, right?
Probably fractions.
I don't know. Is that the most complicated choice? Then yes, that's what it uses.
Now, wounds and strain you can actually increase with talents. There are talents that increase your wounds and your strain.
Yeah, I think, was it Grit maybe did that?
Yeah, Grit increases
I was
your
looking at
strain.
that.
Grit increases your strain by 1.
Yep.
All right.
Woohoo!
I knew a thing.
Yes.
Only thing left in character creation is just to buy equipment.
Yep.
And you start with a whopping 500 credits.
Yeah. It's so limiting.
Yeah, I got a light blaster pistol and 1 frag grenade
Okay.
and some heavy clothing. Oh, and then I did get myself a comm link and a data pad.
Heavy clothing on a droid. That's interesting.
And it's funny that you went there because I did something similar. My droid wears a long coat and a vest.
Yeah.
All right.
I can get that now with the protocol droids. They want to at least look a little bit fashionable at times.
Oh, my droid also has basically hair, but it's braided copper and silver wire.
Oh God.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Are you like a droid that you don't want to be human, but you want to look, or you don't want to be organic, but you want to kind of look organic because you think it's cool?
He's trying to fit in.
I feel like we could make so much money if we sold all of that copper wire. That's such a waste.
That's where all his credits went.
No, but see,
I feel like you spent all your credits on hair.
In the Star Wars universe, copper is nothing. There's no value to copper.
Mm-hmm.
Copper isn't even really a thing, I don't think. I just said copper because it was relatable.
Because it's a kind of wire.
And it's a color. So
Still seems like a silly thing to spend your money on.
I didn't have to spend money on it. I
At some
considered that a
point-
freebie.
At some point, some part of this droid thought, you know what would be cool? I can't imagine that's standard.
Well, when you spend too much time around some unsavory types, you start to pick up their personality quirks. And if the person you're working for or the person that maintains you isn't doing wipes on the regular, you pick up the odd bit of personality. Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, and I take offense to it.
Do you repeat yourself every so often and we have to like elbow you a little bit?
What?
like the fawns in the juice box, in the jukebox?
Hey.
All right.
Did anybody else buy anything interesting, or did we all just kind of?
Well, I was kind of going back and forth on one thing. I got myself a light blaster pistol and heavy clothing, of course. But then I got an emergency med pack, which not too useful for the crew, but probably good for me and maybe anybody that we pick up if we become that sort of crew. A comm link so I could communicate with all you droids. And I was debating between a stim pack and what was that other thing? An emergency repair patch. Because I would imagine that the emergency repair patch would be good for you guys.
Droids require repair patches instead of stim packs, but I mean that's completely your call.
Yeah, because I mean I like being the medic that repairs my crew, so it makes a little bit more sense to go with that. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to swap out stim pack, be a little altruistic here, and choose the emergency repair patch instead.
Since we kind of, forced you into this position.
Yeah.
We did.
It's like, man, I went to school for medicine. I can't even use that. Might as well become a mechanic.
All right. I think I got some stuff. I think I got what I need.
Nice.
I've got a blaster pistol. I'm taking basic comlink, some binders.
Ooh, helpful.
I think so. And I think I'm gonna, I can afford a bola and brass knuckles. And I'm like, why not?
Nice. That's awesome.
And the brass knuckles could just be built in.
Yes.
They are literally brass knuckles.
I kind of like the idea of the droid putting on brass knuckles, though. That's
Well,
hilarious.
here's the thing. They're built in, but I do have, like, show off, like, something that looks really cool to put on. They don't actually help me punch harder or anything. It's just you need the intimidation tactic sometimes.
You need to like make a show of getting ready.
Like, I like the thought of your character like putting up a hand and then balling it into a fist, and these brass like rivulets coming out of the knuckles, like popping out.
Or yeah, something like that. Yes.
Oh, that's so good.
It's a little Wolverine, and I love it.
That's amazing.
Who doesn't want to be Wolverine?
Right?
Normally, but I'll take that part of Wolverine. I'm terrible. I love Gambit. So. I know he's the worst, right? I hate it.
Oh, Sherry.
Damn it. Michael, we don't need another podcast in which our characters are like falling in love.
Well, I didn't say my droid was French or Creole.
Okay.
Space French.
Well, hey, if there's basically Space England, I mean,
who knows, man? It's a big galaxy.
Oh my goodness.
That's true.
Space French.
Of monoclimate planets.
Yep, exactly. It's cold everywhere.
This whole planet is Champagne, France.
I mean, that's not the worst part of France to be, so.
No, not at all. I think we just need to determine motivations. Is that correct?
That a thing?
Do we need to do that? Do we have to do that?
Is that?
Do you normally do that?
I think especially in this case, motivations could help us tie characters together.
Yeah.
Oh, this is one thing I didn't do yet.
Ha! Sorry. I'm like, I'm not the only one underprepared.
I hit the random button. Awesome.
I hate you.
There's tables.
I have a
so
motivation.
You could roll a die and do it.
I have to go to the table of contents. I'm.
Okay, I will tell. It's on page 94 and 95.
Yep.
I will solve that problem for you.
Oh, gotta get out my D100s again.
Wow.
What does this mean? Random motivation.
That's funny. I hit random. My motivation is cause, and under cause is droid rights.
Woo!
Oh.
Yeah!
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, I don't have a random for just Edge of the Empire, so I'm just going to go ahead and roll a die on this one, too.
All right.
I got 10. Roll once on each of any two categories. Oh, what?
Uh-oh.
What does that mean?
Means you have two motivations.
Oh, fancy. So...
Oh, God.
What tables am I rolling on?
So you first do...
So I have to...
Ambition?
Do an...
So you roll 1d10 for your random motivation, and then you roll d100s. So, for example, I rolled an 8, so I have a relationship, and then I rolled a 98 for a former nemesis.
Oh, okay. So if I rolled a 4, that's a cause, and now is there a cause table?
Oh,
yes.
I have that right in front of me.
It is on page 95, so it's
specific
down.
causes. Oh, okay, there it is. Sure.
If you want, roll a d10.
41. Overthrow the Empire. Oh.
Woohoo!
Wow. That's not a small cause.
Nope. Droid rights, kill the Empire.
Actually, they go hand in hand, because the Empire treated droids like they were just tools.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, everybody treats droids like they're tools.
That's true.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So my former nemesis, I've formed a close bond with, and although things are patched between us, we could be still extremely competitive. I think I know who that is.
Oh, the captain.
Chris.
Ah.
If that wasn't obvious.
So you were a droid in the Republic Army.
Yes.
Nice.
You guys, I rolled a religion and spirituality.
All I can see are those robot monks in Futurama?
Yes.
Ooh, what about if your droid has taken it upon themselves to become a new guardian of the wills?
Ooh.
Like lore, like the lore of the Force, per se. You are a scholar,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that is a religious organization that we know of within the Star Wars universe.
Yes.
So it could fit as a backstory for maybe you find the Force fascinating.
And that's why we have this pet human.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look, I found him.
because
It's for research.
because you can't experience it.
And that actually gives us a great link for why the medic is part of our group, because perhaps the medic found out that you are actually a font of knowledge about this thing that they know nothing about.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love it. That's even better than I was considering just being like a weird, crazy droid. But this is good.
I mean, you're still
you can
kind
still
of
be
a
a weird,
weird,
crazy
crazy
droid.
droid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you could be one of the droids that used to train Padawans,
Ooh.
Oh.
and you escaped, and maybe Ryan's character was very young and was a Padawan,
Yeah.
and you managed
to
to
take
save
it-
him.
take it to
human forever.
Oh, that's
To
awesome.
take it
I
to
like
a
that.
different to take it to a different point too, you could have been a library droid at the temple.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like that makes the most sense
That would be better.
because that would explain why I have this blackmail knowledge
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, they want you shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to overthrow the Empire because they killed basically all of my friends.
Yeah. They killed all of your teachers, your
Mhm.
mentor, your way of life.
You might have been there when all the younglings got slaughtered.
Oh.
No, technically, if we go by what we know about Star Wars lore, it's more than likely that this particular youngling was at a noodle shop.
Yes.
Getting
That's very
drunk and
possible, yeah.
singing karaoke.
At the ripe old age of 3.
That would also explain why you don't have a close relationship with your family. If you were
Yeah.
3, you might have attempted, or the droid might have attempted to reconnect you to your family, but
What?
you have this higher calling.
What if because then the betrayal doesn't feel as earned, I guess? What if on the run?
What if your family is sided with the Empire on this?
Ooh,
I mean, not everybody is against them.
that's true. They could have been a little brainwashed. But it's funny
I mean,
that
just
you,
look what
or-
they've done for galactic trade.
Well, it could also have been just a simple matter of survival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny you're bringing up all this like relationship stuff with my family because my second motivation that I rolled was relationship siblings.
Oh,
Ooh.
So I'm wondering how that will tie into everything.
they're the bounty hunter trying to track you down.
Maybe you have a younger sibling that is jealous of the attention that you got from the family.
Okay.
And that younger sibling has become he's become an inquisitor. Even worse.
Ooh.
But it says I have a good relationship with that sibling.
I mean, we don't. You don't
okay.
have to.
Well,
Oh,
I
never
guess
mind. I mean,
we maintain close contact. Unlikely to be combatants, and this motivation may or may not fall in line with the character's relationship obligation.
We can fudge it too.
Maybe maybe that sibling feels super guilty, and so sometimes feeds you information to keep you out of harm's way,
Oh,
out of
yeah.
obligation to the family.
That's a good call.
That's good.
Ooh,
yeah.
yeah, that's really
like
good.
they'll tell me, hey, I know you said before you're going to this system, but I know that's a pretty hot system right now. You might want to stay away
Right.
from it or something.
Or sometimes you get communiques that you don't know where they're from.
Yeah.
Or maybe sometimes you find extra
Care packages.
Yeah, you find extra credits in your bank account and you don't know how they got there, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty sweet.
I like
Somebody's
it.
watching out for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably send you a lot of like Chef Boyardee and like jerky.
Space Chef Royalty.
Yeah. They're like,
Yeah, I know you're living with those droids.
I know they-
Here's some.
yeah.
Here's some Kraft mac and cheese.
yeah,
That'd
basically.
be Space Spaghettios.
Space Spaghettios. Yes.
I have motivation, relationship, extended family, clan, and the description of that is the motivation focuses on a character's relationship with a specific person, creature, or even place. The relationship could be loving, respectful, nurturing, or antagonistic, competitive, or one-sided. The character looks out for the subject's best interest and will set aside his own needs to help when needed. This motivation could be deeply personal or highly public. I think I'd like to use this motivation, Amelia, on your character, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Because for a character that's a slicer and kind of a data trader, you are
Gold.
basically my best. Like, yeah, you are like every form of currency a droid could
Stop
could
trying
dream
to
of.
hack me.
So
You don't hack your friends.
so it's an antagonistic
Hacker, no
relationship,
hacking.
and it's an antagonistic relationship, and in that my character is constantly trying to get information out of you about everything that you could possibly know. So like the Force, the Jedi Temple, like all these things that are secretive, it might not be as easy as me trying to hack your systems, but he's constantly trying to basically ploy you for information.
Every time I lose at a game of Sabacc.
Perhaps. Or every time he thinks you're distracted.
Yes. You just like pepper it in with the other questions.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Where are we going? How long will we be there? How many Jedi were?
How many Jedi were killed? Yeah.
Hey, wait a minute. You can't trick me.
I think he can.
We'll see.
It could be. Yeah, we'll see.
I like that. That's really good.
Nice.
But I like the side of this also, that my character is still looking out for you, trying to protect you, but also in a way because he has a vested interest in you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
There's more than one reason to keep people
don't get
alive.
jealous, Emily.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I could have a character that has a relationship with a different character that doesn't have to mean anything.
Doesn't our weird, awkward relationship mean anything to you?
Well, this isn't the same. This isn't the same type of relationship.
I remember when you tried to hack me.
Oh, whoa.
I didn't mean for that to come out. Oh, well.
It's you, Emily. It just, everything comes out that way.
I'm not normally like this. I'm going to blame the margaritas.
This is special birthday,
Yeah.
Emily.
Sure.
This is what happens when the birthday
plead the
llama
fifth.
comes out.
This has been a test of the emergency Emily Margarita delivery system. This is only a test.
So from here, I think we get to do physical descriptions and things, and maybe pick some names.
Yes.
Is there a list of droid names somewhere?
No,
I have one.
It's numbers.
Letters
Yeah,
and
it's
numbers.
just letters and numbers, and I was going to see if I could make them spell something cool.
My character's name is SP4R-XX, which would be Sparks.
I like
That's
it.
awesome.
Ooh, I'm getting a slow clap from the person without a name. Great.
Well, if I'm a former Republic assassin droid, then all I need to do is Google Republic assassin droid.
I got an idea. How about Booth?
Booth?
B00TH.
Oh, God. John Wilkes Booth.
Yeah.
That's a good history droid joke.
Yeah.
Could do ST48 stab.
That's so good.
Hey, it's late. That's the best I can do.
I really like that.
ST48. That's awesome. Stab.
Well, I came up with the name. He likes to be called Captain 1124 because that was his designation in the droid army.
Nice.
I need a good name.
Anybody else?
I don't know. What's a good name for a Jedi robot?
Dewey?
C4P.
D3. Wait, DE3WI?
Do it.
Well, if she was a library droid, then the Dewey Decimal System.
You are
Right?
being super, Earth-centric right now.
I am.
But this is all foreign
so
to
I'll
people
be
in Star Wars.
D3W1.
Is there a dash in there or
I don't know. Yes. Right in the middle.
Where's the
right
dash?
in the middle?
Right in the middle.
All right.
How many apostrophes do I get to put in?
You're not a Twi'lek, so none.
Aw.
So,
If you wanted apostrophes, you choose a Twi'lek or you choose a Chiss.
yeah, I think we're going to stick with Edric. I'm trying to think.
And now your last name is -W1.
I'm gonna make his last name Farfaller.
Everything I come up with sounds like something else.
Did you say Criff?
No, I didn't say anything. I was just making an angry noise.
Well, if it helps, most assassin droids were IG
That's
models.
what yeah.
So you could do IG-68, IG-34,
You could be an HK model if you were a retired droid.
HK.
Let's go HK31. It's my birthday and I turned 31 today. Bam.
Oh, wow. Okay. So
now we got to pick a ship. Right?
Yes.
I picked the Millennium Falcon.
Ships.
Ships. I know nothing about ships.
Yeah.
They fly through space.
I think
we are not
3 different ships to choose from or something like that. Is that right?
Yeah? No?
Selecting a
So
ship.
here's the trick. We're not really a cargo group, so we could probably pick a smaller ship. Most of us are droids, so we don't really need living space.
True.
Well, I guess what's our party motivation? Why are we all? Yeah. Well, yeah.
What are we doing with this ship?
Yeah.
Fighting for droid rights.
Okay, so we're fighting for droid rights, and we're fighting against the Empire,
And we're taking bounties.
and we're trying to stay alive.
And we're taking bounties.
Whether or not you agree, there's bounties being taken.
Mm-hmm.
We got to pay for this food for my pet human somehow.
Okay.
Well, we could take a simple fire spray. It's got decent armor, decent weapons, and enough cargo room for Edric and his needs.
Sounds great.
And enough space for us to still store some goods and do what we need to do.
Yeah, I think a fire spray is probably about the right size.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we have a large group, but not really, we don't need living space for.
Right.
Correct.
Is that the same model of ship that Boba Fett uses?
Yes.
It is.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
It is.
okay.
Yes.
I was going to suggest something like a skip ray or even like a jump master, long range scout. But I'm looking at the silhouette here. Let's see, ship's complement. 1 pilot.
Oh.
So it's a little too small.
I mean, there's only one. I mean, wait.
Do any of us know how to pilot?
That's exactly what I was about to ask. Can any of us actually pilot?
Technically, we can all pilot.
Yeah.
We're just not. None of us, I think, are trained in it. So if we got into a firefight, it's going to be entertaining.
Well, the fire spray itself seems more like it seems more like a bounty ship, I guess.
That's usually the image of them is, yeah.
Its passenger
More of
capacity is 6 prisoners.
Yeah. 1 pilot and 2 guards.
Yeah.
And then room for 6 prisoners. That's enough space for us.
Which we could always have converted those.
Yeah, you could convert
The
like
prison area
3 of the
to-
cells or something into recharging
stations.
stations. Yeah.
Pets also live in cages.
Oh,
Wow. Edric, get in the cage. Get in your box, Edric.
Crate, Edric, crate.
Great.
Now, how long can we leave him alone for? It's his age in months
We have-
divided by
we-
2?
We have a giant
Hours?
water bottle with a little tiny metal ball in it.
That's why I took the foraging skill. Don't worry about me.
Did anybody take him out for a walk yet? Has he been in there all day?
He has that wheel. He's fine. If he wants exercise, he'll use it.
Oh, man. I'm going to be so abused.
Yeah, we definitely have to make sure the ship has at least 1 fresher.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Oh, goodness.
I think you have to.
Yeah, I think that's probably the right choice for us.
Maybe we converted one of the cells into a really nice oil bath.
Mhm.
Yeah, we did.
The oil pod.
It's one of those really fancy standing oil baths where you walk in and like the entire room just shoots oil into the middle of the room.
Until it fills up.
Is it like an oil bath sauna?
Like steamed oil.
So wait, wouldn't that be like a vape sauna?
Yes.
Yes, it is. It's just like that.
Oh, goodness.
I like it. Does our ship have a name?
Well, who owns the ship?
That's gotta be
I feel
me.
like HK.
Yeah.
Really?
It's a bounty hunter ship. You're an assassin. I don't seems
That's
like.
fair. Okay, now I feel like I've been put in the Tazi position where it's like, okay, this is my ship, but I've just like attracted this group of personalities and don't know what to do with it.
Should we call it Asimov?
I don't get the reference. So
Isaac
sure.
Asimov, iRobot. Come on.
I like it. I think it works.
I'm good. Works for me.
I'm gonna write it down. It's in the notebook
Okay.
now. It's too late.
Okay.
That's official. Sorry.
Well, I mean, let's. Well, we got to give Emily the right of veto.
That's
if it
true.
is her
That's
ship.
true.
Does she have a clipboard in her hand?
Does she have any vetoes left? Can you veto a veto?
I think so.
Only if veto is under 4 feet.
Mm.
I really want to. Oh my god! I just feel like my character is this person. Can we name it the Bounty Hunter?
Sure.
Is that terrible?
The bounty, because we hunt bounties.
And it's one of those things like nobody ever has to ask what we do. What do you do?
We're librarians.
We're like, I don't want to be a librarian. I want to be an author. I just feel like HK is that kind of a, like, I'm going to call a spade a spade. Like, this is a fire spray system that we use for bounty, or that was originally bought with the intention of hunting bounties.
Or maybe even you just call it the fire spray.
The fire spray, yes. And you all have named it something else, giving it a different designation. And I'm just like, yes, it is the fire spray. What is the name of your ship?
Beautiful.
The fire spray.
The fire spray.
Not the model.
What ship is it?
Yeah, by calling it fire spray, we're definitely setting ourselves up for like a who's on first type of joke scenario at some point.
I mean, we can have different designations. We probably have, a bunch of different ones.
If Sparks is on the ship, the ship has multiple transponder codes.
Yes,
certainly.
Yeah, I like the thought that we actually change it depending on which ports we go into, just to stay under the radar at times.
Yep.
That's awesome. Awesome. Well, we have our characters and our ship. So what we have to do now is our backgrounds and the backgrounds of how we all got together.
I think so. And then, talk a little bit.
Yeah, I'm a little bit curious about I'm sorry, I have a list of names. I have a list of names. I've
got a list of names
I hope
too.
none of them are
I'm going to put them into the background tab here.
All right, so I'm curious about D3W1 and Edric.
Yes.
After the temple fell.
Yeah.
Or whatever you want to call that event. I'm curious. Did D3W1 like take you back to your family and like stay as your nanny bot, or have you guys like been on the run? I'm curious.
I would think that from what I know of Star Wars lore, younglings are with the Force aptitude are taken away from their families, or they're given up by their families, and they're not supposed to have that familial attachment. Is that
Jedi aren't supposed to have attachments,
right?
So.
But here's the problem,
right?
Order 66,
right?
Yeah, exactly. So, is it something that a protocol droid for the library of a Jedi temple with all of that particular programming included, which would probably include the tenets of the Jedi and all that other fun stuff, would that droid have taken me back to my home? Or taking me somewhere else?
Well, I guess, how old were you when that happened?
How long was it after Clone Wars, after the Order 66?
So if you figure the age of Luke Skywalker in New Hope, it's roughly 18 years.
19
years.
19 years, right? That's exactly my age, too. So
that's helpful.
That's helpful. So was I maybe like a toddler or something?
Yeah, you would have had to be like
tiny little Force-sensitive human just walking around, knocking over bottles, not knowing why.
Little 2 to 3 year old or something like
maybe
that.
Maybe it's
when I was at the
certainly
temple.
possible you could have arrived at the temple, or there was possibly a courier ship on the way back to the temple as the point in time of Order 66 occurred. So maybe you never actually got
to the temple.
Maybe the ship arrived at the temple and then like the destruction had already happened and this lone library bot accosted you away.
Oh, like the protocol droid was basically the only thing left standing that was remotely sentient.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Huh.
So how do we end up with an assassin droid?
Well, HK-31 was a Republic assassin droid.
Oh, that's right.
And so when there was no Republic, what did they do? They might have been hired as some extra muscle to help protect younglings.
I would almost go as far as to say that D3W1 hired the former assassin droid as muscle.
Mm-hmm.
What if instead of like I was getting dropped off, I like the whole I'm getting dropped off to go to the academy sort of thing at that young age, but the platform that we had landed on was booby-trapped, and the ship that we arrived on was mostly destroyed, and I somehow survived the wreckage. D3W1 was the only thing there that heard the commotion and came out, and with the advanced droid sensors and whatnot, knew that there was somebody else inside, since I was probably in there crying, and came and rescued me, and had no idea where my parents are.
Maybe along the same lines, perhaps one of the troopers that brought you back took pity on you and let you live.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be.
Because they had a kid your exact age or something.
Yeah, they weren't Jedi. You weren't a Jedi. You weren't a
That's
Padawan.
true. You hadn't really been,
Yeah,
you hadn't even made it all the way into the building yet.
Yeah, I guess that could be. Yeah, like why is
they've shown in the Clone Wars there have been a number of examples where the soldiers didn't complete their order, whether it was because they had the chip removed or because they made a decision.
Because they resisted for whatever reason.
Yeah.
What about this?
Yeah, that could work. Yep.
What if one of those clone troopers decided he realized that you were force sensitive and decided to take you to Palpatine, and the assassin droid is who rescued you?
Ah.
Oh.
I like that one. That makes me a hero.
I do like that. Because it would have made sense, because I was so young, I would have been impressionable to turn to the dark side.
And that's usually what the Sith did. They would take somebody who was a Jedi.
Not speaking from experience or anything, but they can be pretty tempting.
Mm-hmm.
Can we say then that D3W1 was basically taking care of me until they got captured together, and both of them were getting taken to Palpatine?
Yeah, it makes sense that you could have had a protocol droid along with you.
Yeah. Because you would have been probably a font of information, so that would have been useful to the Emperor as well.
True.
Mm-hmm.
And so then this assassin droid knew that there was some Republic and Jedi stuff going on this transport, and came by and rescued us.
Mm-hmm.
Was it a what is this ship called?
Fire spray.
Was it a fire spray ship that we were taking on, and that's how you got your ship?
Sure.
That would explain kind of the ship.
How do we end up with these other two droids?
Well, Captain 112D.
Keep in mind that we're now kind of explaining that the assassin droid, Dewey, and Edric have been together since he was a toddler.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Amelia, I mean, I don't know you that well, but like we're co-parents now, so
yes, we are.
We need to have some other conversations. I like how much screen time is appropriate.
How much hollow chest time is appropriate.
How much do we feed it?
Yeah. How do we know if something's going wrong? They all act weird all the time.
What do we feed it?
So it doesn't like the slugs, but it also didn't like the alcohol, so I don't know what to feed it.
Did you try?
Apparently cannot eat metal.
Yeah, we have some mulch.
Poor baby.
That might work.
Okay.
I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Wait, no. Organic.
Why am I stuck with the worst droids in existence?
So you had to grow up.
2 droids and a baby.
Yes. You had to grow up real quick.
My 2 droids.
My 2 droids. Hey, sometimes a family can be an assassin droid, a protocol droid, and a toddler human.
A force-sensitive child.
A force-sensitive toddler human.
That's awesome. All right. So that explains how us 3 got together.
Yeah, I'm curious because Captain 1124 and I were on the opposite sides of the Clone Wars. Ah. So why do we trust each other now, even though we are probably still wary of each other?
Maybe you were decommissioned because you couldn't assassinate him.
Oh, he was my mark and I couldn't do it.
Because you were in love?
That's where my mind went. And then I was like, no, wait, we're droids.
So
Droids could feel.
droids have feelings.
Can droids feel? Can droids love?
They're sentient.
Okay, when I was asked onto this podcast, I didn't expect to be asked like philosophical questions.
Well, like the longer that they go
I didn't choose
without
to be a
being
droid.
wiped, like the more
Personality
that they have. And I feel
Mhm.
like your relationships are part of your personality.
We need to talk to Marie Claire Gould about this because she would know the exact answer to this, I would assume.
Star Wars historically is not shy about the fact that droids have emotions,
Yeah.
right? The actual,
Yep.
the tactile sense of feeling or the actual feeling of pain, like those are more generalized. Like when something happens to a droid, they make an exclamation of pain. They show a droid being branded. They show a droid being branded in Return of the Jedi on his feet, and he's making
Yeah.
exclamations of pain.
Mm-hmm.
So it stands to reason that a droid would also feel love.
Well, I mean, I look at
Exactly.
how R2 reacts when he sees Luke again
Yep.
in The Last Jedi, too.
And 3PO has definite
Right.
feelings of affection for R2, and he whenever they're
Yeah.
possibly going to be in danger, like C-3PO is constantly worried about
Mhm.
R2.
Yes.
Well, even at the end of A New Hope, he's like, take as many parts as you
Mhm.
want to fix him. I don't care. Just save him.
That was so sweet.
That's unconditional love right there.
Okay, now they would probably be worse parents than us.
3PO and R2?
Yeah.
I don't know. We're pretty bad.
R2 would be good.
Well, C-3PO is definitely the helicopter parent, and R2 is basically the derelict dad.
Yeah.
I feel like R2 is like way more cool uncle than dad. You know?
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. See, my thing is here we have a droid that does thinky things and research. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you should be in charge of the crying one. You can figure out. Like, I'm Punchy McPuncherson.
That was not my research specialization.
Well, then what are we supposed to do?
Well, how about you didn't know what to do, and you found a place that a family was able to take me in for a while, and then after we parted ways, the family got to know both of you droids, and thanked you and everything for saving this young child and everything, and they said they would care for me as if I was one of their own. And then years later, after hearing about these droids that had rescued me and, going through school and all this stuff and knowing all this stuff is starting to happen to me and getting kind of scared, I track you down.
To go off on space adventures with us?
That makes sense.
To try to hide and get away. And to track you down, I needed to find a droid slicer, maybe named Sparks.
Oh my God.
You find it?
Have we all been brought together by this human?
I had kind of hinted. I have a feeling that Sparks was either hired to find the human or hired to find D3W1 Dewey, because of the information that Dewey has.
Do you think it's possible
Okay.
protocol droids live with people all the time?
Yeah.
I mean, do you think it's possible that I stayed behind with Edric?
Oh, yeah, that could work.
Well, and you might be the last vestige of the Republic that I have any knowledge of.
True.
I would probably
That's
stick
true.
around that.
I feel like it's better if the three of you are like a family unit.
Yeah, that works.
I don't know. I mean, I can't speak for obviously Emily or Amelia's characters, but it seems like it would be weird for them to just drop you off with somebody to raise you with the knowledge that you may be like the last force sensitive being
Right.
in the galaxy.
Yeah.
What if
It's possible. Oh, go ahead.
What if the three of them were together? They realize they need to find a safe place to hide, so they decide to go look for old separatist strongholds because they're abandoned. They come get Sparks to do some research. Through the research, they find an old abandoned one, and when they get there, they find a crazy tactical droid running around talking about his responsibilities and bringing back the droid army.
I like it.
Close enough to safe.
Yeah. But I would imagine that there'd probably be enough supplies left behind and whatnot to raise one human.
Yeah.
Well, we can find him, you know?
And probably enough computer data to teach him.
But that would make sense why you're the doctor, because you had to learn how to take care of yourself.
Yeah, and the forager. Yep.
That would tie all into it. We're on some backwater little asteroid out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, with enough power to last roughly 17 years.
That's oddly specific of you.
I like it.
Did we just do
We
it?
did it.
I think so.
We created characters. We created backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
So then the question is, why do we have to get off of there? Oh, because the power's gone?
I think it's a little asteroid. There's not enough resources to stay here forever, especially for this human.
And there's the Force sensitive that may have to be moved, or D3W1 has some blackmail on somebody. Maybe they finally tracked D3W1 down.
Ooh.
What about maybe this could be interesting. What if D3W1 has all this knowledge of the Force and all this knowledge of like kind of the history and that such, and part of that is because she's been actually programmed with a holocron inside her.
Oh,
Like a large portion of the knowledge that she has is actually because she contains a holocron.
Oh my gosh, that's so good.
Yes.
Like I imagine like her.
Yes,
I imagine like at some point like her chest opens up like Optimus Prime and like she pulls out this holocron and like holds it above her head like a champion. You got the touch.
We have fun on Redemption.
Yes, definitely.
We have fun on C3.
We've been having a great time. Ryan's not having a great time because he's thinking of all the things he has to edit out now.
And so
Sorry.
the trick here is that, whoever is, maybe someone is coming for, Dewey because they have heard rumors or found some documentation about a protocol droid with a Jedi holocron.
Have you been leaking that information, perhaps?
And the kid, Edric, is not even a known thing.
Oh, interesting. Mm-hmm. That would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, that would be really sweet.
It doesn't help that Edric has been I just blanked on the word for space on internet.
How the HoloNet?
The HoloNet. Sorry. Oh, wow. The HoloNet searching for things like protocol droid holocron.
And the great thing is too, if we think about it this way, right? Here's a kid that's literally been raised among droids, so has no frame of reference for dealing with humanoids.
Oh my God. Think about his first crush.
It's like Space Tarzan.
Yes.
It really is.
Oh.
This is amazing.
So we've all got our own distinct personalities as droids, and so he would be used to dealing with those. Yeah. But as droids, we also tend to, we have a tendency to act more logically, maybe cold or robotic in some ways, And so when we get off this asteroid and actually into like a small city, Edric has like no idea what to do. Like, yeah.
Oh, it's going to be like when I went back to school after being homeschooled for a few years.
Yep.
And I just remembered that one of my things was that I've got a sibling that is looking out for me.
Or, yeah.
What if they tracked me down some time ago because they heard rumors of this
of a survivor,
followed them of a survivor, and like just poured through research and put it together that it was me. And now that they found me, they're slowly leaving these clues and little presents basically here and there that I have no idea where they're coming from.
Well, we talked about that, about like credits just kind of showing up in your account and,
Yeah,
but
stuff like that.
Why would he have
just like random,
an account?
Well, you have to have some sort of account to keep track of credits.
Well, but that's the trick, right? If we've been living like incommunicado on an asteroid, then technically there's nothing that points to the fact that you even exist. There's no trail.
Right.
Unless he's not been as careful on the HoloNet as we instructed.
Because there has to be some sort of connection to
Right.
the outside world.
So he
We
gave
told
away
you
his
not to give
username and
away.
password.
Right?
And
Don't talk to strangers on the HoloNet.
I can imagine that Edric would have done some research on his own on the HoloNet, and probably through that research, his search history of sorts was probably discovered by either a brother or
Right.
sister. He doesn't know.
somebody.
And even if they're Ron, the sibling, they're still helping somebody out.
Right.
That's their justification.
Here's an easy in for the sibling. What if the sibling hired my data broker to find the protocol droid because they had the suspicion that you were involved or that you were in the custody of that droid. People had seen the droid with a small child shortly after the wreck of the council building.
Yeah, I think that worked. That'll definitely lead to
that bridges the sibling in from a point of contact perspective. Like, I've reported back to my employer that I found the protocol droid and there's a human.
Right.
her.
So I think we said that you're kind of looking for the information that I have.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
are
the
you on
reason-
our side or not, Sparks?
Sparks has been with the group for a while. I would assume at this point. So it's not just like kind of a wander-in situation. The end goal is that, yes, he did find the information for the client, but his data brokers also informed him that he needs to try and get as much of the Jedi-related data out of the protocol droid as he can. So that's his continuing, like the rest of the group doesn't know that, but that's kind of why he's there. But also he's begun to form relationships with everybody, and it's become do I want to fulfill my mission or do I want to just stay here and do what I'm doing?
Yeah, because you're
And which of
you're
those two
going
things
longer and
is-
longer without getting wiped too.
Yeah, and and again, it's getting pulled between like your duty and your want, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then why
Cap-
why is the captain sticking around here then?
Yeah.
Because he has to take care of the droids that are here.
Oh, that's true, because you have
'Cause
your
he-
droids' rights thing, right?
Well,
So he's got 3 new droids here that he wants to make sure that they are protected, and I would imagine know that they have the right to do what they want.
yeah, he failed during the Clone Wars to keep his troops alive. He now sees the group as his troops,
Aww.
Yeah.
which he's probably even going to see Edric as one of his troops, but he never identifies him as a human. He's always just going to refer to him as one of the other droids underneath him.
Does he have a special designation for Edric that's not like a human designation?
Probably EF1. EF1.
EF1? That's awesome. I like that.
Oh, this is a sweet little family.
Yeah. So
I love
I love these droids.
I've talked I talked with Cinda about this, and we would love to host this on Sasgeek at some point.
Oh,
Oh,
it would be
serious?
such a
Yeah.
cool game. It would be
And,
so fun.
The idea being,
Oh, this would be an amazing one shot.
And it would be easy because the opening scene could be a message to Edric from his mysterious sibling saying, hey, I
Meet me
work
here.
Yeah, well, or I work for the Empire. They know where you are. You have to leave.
Oh, that's right, because we talked about that a little bit too as an option of like, hey,
That's right.
the sibling telling you
that's
where
why
not
we
to
leave.
be.
I'm dinking around on the HoloNet at the ripe age of 19, and suddenly this thing pops up.
hey, the
And we're like-
Empire
Phrasing.
knows
I apologize.
where you are. You must leave.
And maybe we take the fire spray because it's the only ship left that we could get into a serviceable condition to leave.
Well, if it's my ship and I'm obsessed with upgrading,
Oh, there you go.
it's the only
That's right,
ship that's
it is
been
your
kept
ship.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you've been cannibalizing other ships
Oh,
that have
yeah.
been there. And so it's literally the only
And
one that
occasionally maybe parts from some of our weird little family.
Maybe it's barely recognizable as a fire spray.
Mm-hmm. And that's maybe the joke. People are like, what is your ship? And it's like, it's called the Fire Spray. And they're like,
It's not a fire spray.
and
I've been insisting on a different name for years, and
It is a fire spray. What else are we going to call it?
Literally anything else.
But it is a fire spray.
Yes. Which is why it doesn't need to be fire spray.
But
Fire spray.
Fire spray, the fire spray.
yes, it is a fire spray.
Call a spade a spade.
Yep. You can keep arguing. HK
We'll
might
probably win.
Yeah. HK's a little stubborn.
Definitely. That's okay.
D3, pay it no mind. I have already installed multiple transponder codes on the ship.
I don't like it when you do that, Sparks.
It is for our survival.
Oh, fantastic. So, this sounds like an excellent place to stop for the backstory. We've got a pretty well fleshed out, not to use that word, party here.
LOL.
So yeah, this is awesome. I love this group.
Mm-hmm.
I do too.
All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining us for our Star Wars Edge of the Empire character creation episode. Michael, do you want to remind listeners where they can find you and let them know what else you are up to?
Of course, I am most active on Twitter at LoserMLW. That is LoserMLW. I know it's funny, but it's a name with a lot of history. I can be found on the Redemption Podcast. I can be found on Tales of Blood and Stone. And then I can also be found at Return to Greyhawk on the Greyhawk channel on Twitch. A proud member of the RPG Academy Network.
Yes.
Very cool. Emily, how about yourself?
You can find me as Isla on the Redemption Podcast every other Monday. That's redemptionpodcast.com. You can find me at my own Twitter at the Crafty DM. You can look up She's a Super Geek, sasgeek.com. Or you can howl at the moon until you're blue at the face and then call out my secret name 3 times and I will appear.
Her secret name is Beulah, by the way. It's Beulah.
What? Why would you?
Now she's going to pop everywhere. Everywhere. Said it twice. Now you're like...
He's not howling at the moon until he's blue at the face, though. You can say the name.
Disappearing our guests.
Michael, the whole point is
I
that
always
didn't
get
want
the order
everybody
wrong.
to have. Everybody can tag me on Twitter. I don't want them all knowing my secret name.
Well, Beulah is nothing to be ashamed of.
Beulah.
And Chris, what about you?
Easiest way to get a hold of me is on Twitter. It's at Burlew_Chris. And I am pretty active with the Redemption Podcast and Tales of Blood and Stone, A Shadow of the Demon Lord actual play.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, everyone. And thank you, everyone out there listening. So please join us on the next episode for our discussion block. Character Creation Cast is a production of the One Shot Podcast Network and can be found online at www.charactercreationcast.com. Head to the website to get more information on our hosts and guests, or even some of our character sheets. Character Creation Cast can be found on Twitter at CreationCast. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Bolter, and I can be found on Twitter at Lord Neptune. Our other host, Amelia Antrim, can be found on Twitter at Ginger Reckoning. Music for this episode is used with a Creative Commons license or with permission from the podcast they originated from. Further information can be found within the show notes. Our main theme music is Hero Remix by Steve Combs and is used with a Creative Commons license. This podcast is owned by us under Creative Commons. This episode was edited by Ryan Bolter. Further information for the game systems used and today's guests can also be found in the show notes. If you like the systems discussed and wish to purchase them, links to the products can be found in the show notes. Also, check the notes or the website for cool stuff to go with each character, such as dice or mixtapes. Thanks for joining us, and remember, we find that the best part of any role-playing game is character creation. So go out there and create some amazing people. We will see you next time. Character Creation Cast is hosted by the One Shot Podcast Network. If you enjoyed our show, visit oneshotpodcast.com, where you'll find other great shows like Backstory.
Backstory is an ongoing series of interviews with game designers and other notable members of the role-playing community, hosted by Alex Roberts. This show is all about the person behind the work. How did they get into gaming? Why did they start designing? What are they most excited about for the future? Alex loves getting to know people, and you'll love coming along for the ride.
We love you, Alex.
We love you, Alex.